Good evening, good Thursday evening, Friday Eve for some folks. Welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review presents Let's Talk Houston Rockets, presented by Byron Riley, CPA. Visit the website byronrileyycpa.com. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Since 1994, Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective. Let's talk Houston Rockets. The 17-15 Houston Rockets won 2 straight. First win of this week. Destroyed the sorry ass Pistons. Dropped a 47-point burger on them in the third quarter. And then Wednesday night beat Brooklyn. 2 straight wins. Gets tougher. Friday night got the Ant-Man, Rudy Gobert, Minnesota. Then Saturday, the Milwaukee Bucks, Milwaukee in H-Town to close out this 7-game homestand. X-Ray, how you doing? And see, I like that right off the top. Got my drink ready. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have some fun this Thursday evening. Tony M., The Rock, one of the Rock's supporters of the Houston Roundball Review, was with me earlier today on the takeover at lunch, on the lunch break. Tony said to be back, and he is. Appreciate it. Twin night was a success, even though Officer Thompson didn't do much, and he did not get much playing time. But it's about the Rockets. But real quick, I must say this. Got a chance to talk to Marcus Sasser, who covered Marcus at UH. Talked to some of my Detroit Piston colleagues, beat writers. I asked them flat out, what is Monty doing sometimes? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. Well, that's all I can say. Rockets won 2 straight. On to Minnesota, facing Minnesota and Milwaukee. I saw it again. I guess it's Rockets Twitter. Jalen Green follows up 3 good games with a 5 for 15 shooting performance. Oh, it's time to trade Jalen Green. What do you think, Justin, Tony, X-Ray? What do you think? He was 3 for 9 from 3 against Brooklyn. 4 turnovers. Fred had 4 turnovers. Fred VanVleet scored well. Shot much better, obviously. But Fred and Jalen combined for 8 of the team's 15 turnovers Wednesday night against Brooklyn. But, oh, yeah, what should we get for Jalen Green? It's time to trade him. His value won't get any higher than it is right now. Let's get rid of him. Man, oh, man. Yep, Justin. Garbage minutes. And they gave Monty gave minutes, continues to give minutes to Killian Hayes, who should not be playing in the NBA for Detroit ever again. But X-Ray says right here about Jalen Green. No trade this season. A lot on his plate. Give him this season. Some folks would say to that, it may be harder, might not get as much for him in return this summer. Tony M says, this man's name is James Harden, and those Twitter fans will be all right. Asleep Art, how are you? Thank you for joining. Justin says, I think at times Houston fans can be very fickle. Maybe it's because it's becoming more and more a transplant town. Possibly part of it. But very quickly, got to do it because I know my man's watching the show. So let me do this. Saluting again to Byron Riley, CPA.com. Visit the website, Byron Riley, CPA.com, or call 832-303-3995, 832-303-3995. 2024 is here. It's time to start getting those taxes in order. So give them a call, 832-303-3995. But yes, real quick, first return, fan vote return for the All-Star game announced today. I'm not going through everything. But front court for the Western Conference. Look at that name at number 7. Number 7. It's the fan vote. Alperen Şengün has received 335,115 votes. More than Wemby by 114,000. That surprised me. I was surprised Wemby's vote total is not higher than that. But Al P, number 7, fan vote for the front court for the 2024 Western Conference team for the All-Star game. What do you think about that? Al P at number 7. Al P's been putting in work. Giving other front court big men the business these last few days. Salute to him. And Nick Claxton. Let me say this. Y'all digest that Al P number 7 in the fan voting for the front court. But just think about it, man. There's Mr. 30, Mr. 33 win, Mr. Correct Cuts. How are you doing? Long time no hear from, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for the comment. It's full, man. You know, getting older, caring less about how other things look. You know, other things hair's growing in other places as you get older. You know, hey, it's going a little more gray in there too. About to grow through there. But Nick Claxton, 5:06 second quarter. Last night, Wednesday night, looked like he was saying something to Al P initially, then leaned over, kind of leaning on Al P with his Nick Claxton weighing $180, whatever he weighs. He looks like he's lost weight, bless his heart. Al P pushed Nick, like, get off me. Nick Claxton went flying. Oh, ref, did you see that? Land on the floor, land on the court. Stayed on the court like he got hurt. like he was just brutalized. Did y'all see this? This man pushed me. He shoved me. Ref took time. They reviewed it. Ended up calling a tech on Al P. It was almost like they tugged on Superman's cape. Al P scored 9 straight points in the quarter. 9 straight points. And then 12 more in the third quarter. Nick Claxton. Wrong man to mess with, man. Wrong man to mess with. Al P scored 30 last night. Gave you a 30 piece. But 9 straight to end right after getting the T. Okay. Salute to Coach Udoka. Say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Feed Al P the ball. He going to go to work. Al P went to work. And then 12 more in the third. When the Rockets scored 38 points, outscored the Nets by 13. I like it. I like this. I like the old school part of Coach Ime Udoka. We got mismatches. We're going to exploit them until they do something else, until they prove they can stop us. We're going to keep on doing it. And the Rockets have an advantage in the low post against most other teams. And Al P's shining like a bright star. Thillo, how are you doing? So I just love it. And Al P's doing it, what I said has always been possible in the NBA. There's nothing wrong with a low post game. You can still get 3-point shots from double teams in the low post. Nets double team, triple team, Al P, no problem. I kick it out. I got teammates that can make shots. I make threes. Rockets were 19 for 39 from 3 last night. 19 for 39. Pick your poison. Probably going to be a little bit different. A little bit different Friday night against Rudy Gobert. Just a tad bit. But it's good to see. Good to see. But let's see. So Justin said he heard Claxton talking through the TV the whole game. Yep. Yeah. And I'm serious, my man, he cannot weigh 200 pounds. He looks like he has lost weight. He looked skinnier. And Nick has always been a slender dude, but he looked skinny last night. Ain't gonna talk trash. Live and learn. Live and learn. I hope he learned. A sleep art says that was a trash call. It was. But yep, in the standings, who'd have thought it? Phoenix, Lakers, Warriors, behind the Rockets in the standings. Who'd have thought that? Lakers got the curse of the winning the in-season tournament. Haven't done much since then. Having problems with Coach Darvin Ham, but all hey, whatever. Phoenix injured. Brad Beal struggling to stay healthy. Not a lot of quality depth on that team. But correct cuts, 35 wins. 35 wins is my take. We've been above 500. I might be wrong about my prediction. Oh, team is really playing well. Even in losses, you can see how much improved the Rockets are this year. Yes, to a point. Defense, we'll see what the defense does, how the defense does against better teams like Minnesota and Milwaukee. Detroit is trash. Played well. Oh, I'm gonna say this add this as well. Post game comments from Coach Ime. He referenced only leading Detroit by 4 at halftime, only being down 1 to Brooklyn halftime. Last night he was asked, "What's the message? Message to the team at halftime: take care of the ball." But we were not happy only being up 4 over Detroit. We were not happy being down 1 against Brooklyn. Those teams might be happy with that, but we're not happy with that. So the message was halftime, take care of the ball, third quarter, make the adjustments, go attack, and get these games. And that's what they've done. I like it. I like it. Space Age, how are you doing? What's good with you? Thank you for joining me on this edition of the 2024. Thank you very much for chiming in on this edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets, sponsored by Byron Riley, CPA. Terry coming in from New Zealand. Always good to hear from you, my man, via direct message on Musk, as well as your comments here on the show. Appreciate it. Justin's got a comment here about the Lakers. Well, I doubt they. Well, who knows? If the Lakers get rid of another coach, are they finally going to take a look at themselves and realize they are the problem? Probably not. And according to Ime, 500 ain't enough for him. Yep, he said it. He believes Rockets should have a better record than they do. 500 is just average. And he believes Rockets are better than average. They're a better team. And Coach said it wasn't like he flipped chairs or anything at halftime, but he made sure to let the players know those first half performances were unacceptable. But it's also imperative that the guys get off to better starts starting Friday night against Minnesota. Y'all all know, y'all all agree. Minnesota is better than Detroit. Minnesota is better than Brooklyn. The Rockets can't go through the motions against Minnesota and Milwaukee. They got to play better from the start. They got to do better defensively from the start against the better teams. Lighting up Detroit for 136 season high. That's nice, impressive. But Detroit, Utah scored 154 in overtime. They had 138 in regulation against Detroit. Crappy defense. This crap defense. Y'all answer this question from correct cuts. Do you think Fred has been well worth his contract so far? What do y'all think? What do you think about that? First, obviously, Fred won't give the money back. So the Rockets had it to give, had to spend, gave to Fred, offered to Fred. Fred said, thank you very much. What do I sign? It's all good. So, yeah. What do you think about that right there from Justin? I'm worried, though, about Cam. He said the player he looks up to is Westbrook, young Westbrook. Let's be clearer. Young Russell Westbrook. What do y'all think about that when y'all heard Cam say that? I'm Big Sarge asked him if there was a player that he patterned his offensive game after. And first Cam said himself. And then he said, well, I looked up to Russell Westbrook when I was growing up. Younger Russell Westbrook. So is that a concern for y'all? What do y'all think about that? Space Age says Fred he's worth it. Yes, indeed, he's worth it. Jamon says FVV has earned every dollar of that contract. Big Thrillo, some also real talk. Rockets paid the sorry franchise tax and had to overpay for Fred and Dillon. Fair. X-Ray, hell yeah. He does crazy. It's sometimes, but it's expected from the leader, especially when your right hand isn't showing up all the time. I'm assuming that's referencing Jalen Green. That's why I'm glad we got a gym in DB. Tony M says Fred was a bargain. He's like a teacher that also coaches the 6th grade soccer team and subs when needed. Justin says Fred is worth it because of his leadership. When he is on the floor, I feel secure. I do kind of worry about this part, though. This comment from Space Age. Just hope he doesn't run out of gas. Which I have that concern, but Amen Thompson played about 20 minutes last night, Wednesday night. 10 points. Rookie high, tying 6 rebounds. Aaron Holiday had 3 assists. Trying to decide on the backcourt minutes, the backup point guard minutes. Amen, Aaron. Fred played 35 last night, almost 36. That's got to come down. He does see some time off ball, but I still like to see those minutes get down to like 32, not 36, 37, 38. Let's see. Yep. Fred's still leading in minutes. Big Thurlow, I didn't like how Pat Bev did Fred the other day at all. Other than that, Fred has been solid. Fred is still among league leaders of most minutes played in the NBA this season. X-Ray says, because I'm definitely scared. Knock on wood. Would y'all agree with Tony that Jalen is a little behind schedule this season? Other than folks chiming in these last few moments, where do you stand? What's your take? Should the Rockets keep Jalen Green throughout this season? Should they trade him by the February trade deadline and move on from him? Have you seen enough from Cam Whitmore to trade Jalen Green, get something in return, and shuffle your lineup, and Cam gets more minutes game in, game out? Jamon Oops, Draymond, y'all are coming hot and heavy here. If Rockets are thinking about benching him, then they should trade him before that happens. X-Ray says Jalen is behind, but that's because of previous coaching and GM decisions. Give him a year or two with Ime. Tony M says we've held on to trash way longer. I am not ready to trade. I uh, Correct Cut says we need to get our man set to run the backup officially. I think that's the plan. His handles just aren't tight enough yet. He's loose with the ball too much. I mean, I'm saying too much, but I mean, for a rookie, first few months in the NBA, his handles got to be better. Got to improve those handles, decision making, all of that. Justin Justin says keep him this season, but with Jalen, do you get rid of a player that has been thrust into a new system and coach? I wouldn't, unless the trade or return is just too good to turn down. And I'm not sure. And let's go with that. For those who want to keep Jalen, Tony M, Justin, etc., within reason, what would be a trade that you would not turn down, could not turn down for Jalen? Let's discuss that as I take a sip out of my lovely Houston Roundball Review mug, which I encourage you to buy. Click on that shop button during the show, get you a mug. But what do you think? What will be a trade proposal, Thrillo, etc., that y'all would not turn down and say, "Oh yeah, I like Jalen Green, but yeah, that's just it's almost too good to be true." But it has to make sense. It has to be logical. It's don't give me Wimby for Jalen Green. You know, not happening. Okay. Correct. Cut says Jalen shouldn't be traded now. It's still too early. Justin, maybe if we had a chance at Siakam. Justin, y'all, you going back there, Justin, bruh. If we held on to players like Matt Maloney, you can give Jalen more time. That's a different regime, but point well taken. Big Thrillo says he's out on JG, too inconsistent, and not other way to affect the game outside of scoring. Good deal only. Don't just throw him away. Jamon says something like Jalen and a first round pick for DeJounte Murray. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Would that be an upgrade? DeJounte Murray? Does he impact winning? DeJounte, does he? Contract was like 4 years left on the deal. He gets more steals, but does he impact winning? Space Age kind of likes that proposal. Correct Cut says Jalen reminds him of Jamal Crawford. He can still be valuable as firepower. Justin, man, you're older than I thought, man. You going back again. Bringing up Kelvin Cato. My man Kelvin. That's another story. If any of you have been with me for the longest from the beginning of these Let's Talk Houston Rockets shows, y'all know my appreciation for Kelvin runs deep for what he did for me a long time ago. A long time ago. I'll never forget my man for doing that for me. Space Age says DeJounte is definitely an upgrade. Big Thurlow says Murray would make the backcourt bigger. Jamon says DeJounte is a better shooter. X-Ray wants Donovan Clingan from UConn, a big man. Justin feels like Jalen would be better as a 6-man. Okay, let's go with that. If the Rockets decide to bring Jalen off the bench, who would start? Who would start and why? In your opinion, who would start? And do any of y'all still agree or still want to see Jay Sean Tate traded? Sleep Art says you're saying you want Tari to start in place of Jalen. Who else? X-Ray, you saying that to Jay Sean being traded? Justin wants Jalen to be a starter. He feels like KPJ, the thing messed up the plans. Best lineup is the closing lineup. X-Ray says, oh my God, Tate has to go. And Sleep Art wants to move Brooks to the 2. What I think about Tony M's statement right here. I like Tari, but I don't know if he can create enough in the starting lineup. Jay Sean would be part of a package deal, most likely. He's a rock, he's a glue guy. He's a guy that veteran coaches love to have. But Sleep Art says Tari doesn't have to create with Şengün and Van Fleet. Correct Cuts. I don't think trading Jalen is the answer. I feel like if Jalen gets traded a couple of years from now, he'll have a breakout like Gilbert did, Agent Zero. Justin says Tari works best in the second lineup. When Ime needs a jolt of energy, he brings in Tate, Amin, and Tari. Thrillo, and Tari's still on limit restriction at 25 minutes. So starting him, I don't see it. X-Ray says Cam would be the best bet. Yes, he's not ready, but he brings enough offense and can learn defense game to game. Correct Cuts does not want Jay Sean traded. He's on the Tate train. Sleep Art won't know till we try it. Hasn't happened yet. I mean, were y'all thinking about this? Or, I mean, okay, let's see. Before last night, Jalen played well, shot well, scored well, 3 straight games. Rockets lost those 3 games. Well, yeah. Well, no, beat Detroit. But he scored well 3 games in a row before last night. Did y'all want to get rid of him during the games he was scoring well? And y'all are being consistent, not just because he went back to shooting poorly, 5 for 15 against Brooklyn. So which is it? Space Age, yes, bad fouls, and looks at the ref like he didn't do it. That's Jay Sean Tate. Space Age wants someone taller at Tate's position. Jamon, it's like what Luke said. Jalen's up and down like the Dow Jones. X-ray, you talking about? Oh, you talking about Jay Sean with this comment right here? His offense I can manage, but the BS defense what I wasn't expecting. Is that you talking about right there, Jay Sean? Like you took the bad parts of DB handbook on defense. Hmm. But yeah, a taller Tate, you got Tari Eason and Dylan Brooks. So Jay Sean, I've said it for a while. Jay Sean minutes, his time here isn't come to an end. I think, unless the Rockets just one would be content with him being a end of the bench guy. Yeah, rah guy, that kind of that kind of player with more minutes going to Dylan and Tari, and eventually Cam. Sleep Art says if Jalen can't shoot, what is he? Ultimately, yes. I think Jay Sean is redundant. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I am saying that. Yes. Justin, we can have a nice package. Victor, Tate, Landale, and the Brooklyn picks. Who would want Tate? Only takes one. Only takes one. He's a hustle player. He's a tough player. He's a glue player. He's a glue guy. Coaches love that. But Mr. 35 got a point. He got hustle, and that's what Tari brings. But he trips me out, especially when he fouls for no reason. I agree with you, Sugami. Having Tate is good, but definitely not long term. I agree with that. Oh, yeah, I could see that. Jay Sean is kind of like a Miami Heat kind of player. Terry from New Zealand. I've been liking Ime's rotations without Dylan and Tari stabilizing the team. A winning team, a veteran team, could use somebody like Jay Sean Tate. Scooter Channel, new name. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Tate not accepting him as a role player. Hmm. Welcome everybody. Got new names joining the family. Appreciate that. Salute to those folks who told you about this show, told you about this YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Spread the word. Keep them coming. Hit that like button. Become a subscriber to this channel. Click on that bell notification so you can receive info of when new shows are posted. So do not be a stranger to the show. And for the new folks, salute to those who told you about this show. And salute to everyone for the comments and questions so far. When I want it to load up, it doesn't load. Would Boston want Tate or the Grizzlies? So yeah. So yeah, Jay Sean has a place in the NBA. The Rockets just have, especially longer term, players that are better than him. Period. In my opinion. So Space Sage, appreciate this comment right here. But yeah, hit that like button. A lot of Rockets content on this channel, but not only Rockets content on this channel. Texans content, Cougar content, interviews, colleagues. I have a couple other lined up. May have someone from the Big 12, hopefully the next 2 weeks on the show. Devrick. Welcome, Devrick. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you joining the show tonight. Let's talk about Rockets, Minnesota. Since Tari did not play Wednesday, I'm assuming he'll play one of these next two games. I doubt he plays both because they're back to back, and they don't want to give the leg too many minutes. But Rockets, Minnesota, what do you expect? What are you looking forward to seeing? Make your predictions. The Bucks beat the Spurs tonight, 125-121. So it's not like the Bucks defense is stellar, but the Rockets will be coming off a back-to-back facing the Bucks on Saturday. So Minnesota, Rockets Friday, Bucks, Rockets Saturday. What do you think? What are you looking forward to seeing matchup-wise? Ant-Man, Rudy Gobert, Cat. T-Will's playing well. Surprising folks with how good the record is so far this season. Justin says, I think the big man in Minnesota might be too much for the Rockets. And Junior Lofton did get picked up. Yep. Let's see, where did Junior get picked up? Philly, right? It's Philly. I think it was Philly. Yeah. Maisha, thank you for watching again. She's doing double duty as well. She was a participant during the lunch break. Also, earlier today, from noon to 1 Central, on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. But yes, Rockets, Minnesota. Space Age says can't let Gobert sit under the basket. Correct cuts. We need length. I have a feeling we're going to have a problem with their length. Tony M says Cam needs to play meaningful minutes tomorrow. Tony, if Tari plays tomorrow, how would Cam get those minutes? Devrick being consistent for a while now. We need to upgrade our front court. Jamon, if Fred, Jalen, and Jabari hit threes, we can win. But I think we're going to lose the next two. And let's go with that. I do think Coach will put Jabari on Giannis. Yes. But back to Jamon's statement. If the Rockets lose to Minnesota and lose to the Bucks, the 7-game homestand would end 2-5. The Rockets' record would be 17-17. Back at 500 again. What would your reaction be if that happens? If the Rockets lose Friday and Saturday and are 500 again, 17-17 before heading on the road. Would your optimism wane a little bit? After 34 games, the Rockets would have played 21 home games, 13 road games. Jamon says, and Jamon being consistent too. Stone needs to make a trade immediately. Got what, 5 weeks ago before the deadline? You've been consistent on that. Want a trade done. Space Age, least got to get one out of the two. Scooter says, we can beat every team when we play high IQ. Sleep Art, LP going to have a couple of tough games ahead of him. Others need to step up. Space, I was thinking about this matchup. Anthony Edwards intimidates Jalen damn near every time they meet. Sleep Art has a counter to Jamon. With this, I think this is already a successful season. Nothing big has to happen. Ooh, Tony, you think so? Really? You think Jabari has been as inconsistent as Jalen? At least Jabari is doing something like rebounding, or he's impacting winning in other ways. Hitting the boards, double figure rebounds. His shot is kind of inconsistent, but at least 9, 10, 11 rebounds a game, pretty much. Correct cuts, 17-17 is such an ugly record. Justin says it comes down to defense. Have to get it back to where it was. If they do, they have a chance to beat a lot of teams. Jamon, Jabari needs to make his presence felt more in games. How? In what way? And I ask that because this is now Al P's team. Y'all agree? The offense especially. I mean, Fred said it last night in the locker room that he's not getting the ball from Al P. Coach Udoka said it. The Rockets get the ball to Al P, high post, mid post, low post, which mid post, high post makes it more difficult for teams to double him. And Al P can see where the double is coming from, make it pass. He's an effective passer. So if you got Al P 1, Fred 2, how much more you want Jabari to do as a third option? Then honestly, if Al P 1, Fred 2, offensively, wouldn't y'all expect? He hasn't done it a lot this year, but wouldn't you expect Jalen to be option 3 ahead of Jabari? Offensively, of course, I'm speaking. Space Age says, demand the ball and quit being in love with the 3 ball. There are times, not a lot. I mean, Jabari is not in the low post nearly as much as Al P is. I think part of that is play calling by the staff and the coaches. The handful of times he's in mid post, high post, he's not as effective as he probably should be. So demanding the ball part, I'm not sure he really can in this offense. Maybe that's part of something. Part of the offense that needs to grow and adapt as this season progresses. Thrillo says, I have one big issue with Jabari. He plays with finesse too often. Dunk the ball, he's supposed to dunk it. Justin says, I still think Jabari is like a young Robert Horry before the injuries. Tony M. Cam has some dog in him that's missing in Jalen. Space says Jabari shoots with more confidence than Jalen. X-Ray, JG hasn't figured out the reads yet. So you continue to do rookie 2K, rookie 2K moves when he has the ball. And a reminder, if you're joining the show last few minutes, the NBA announced the first returns of the fan vote for the All-Star game. Front court, number 7 in the Western Conference. Number 7, Alperen Sengun, number 7. Got more votes than Wemby, which that surprised me. That really did surprise me. That's the fan vote. Alp, number 7. He won't get in on a fan vote, but I think he's got a great chance to be voted in by the coaches. So Alperen Sengun might be playing in the All-Star game in Indy in February. And how about that? Wouldn't that be something? Mr. I'm trying to be humble, as he said last night when he was asked about the Nick Claxton acting job in the weight room. That's a great clip from Alp. It's on the YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it already, go watch it. Because you hear Jeff Green in the background when Jonathan Fagan asked Alp, is that a weight room thing when Nick Claxton bounced off you like that? And Uncle Jeff said, say yes. Yes. Say yes. And Alp's like, I'm trying to stay humble. But it's all good. And he had on some nice clothes last night, too. Very sharp. Correct cuts. Alp should be above Paul George and Kawhi. It's the fan vote. Y'all get out and vote. Hey, it's the fan vote. 50% of the selection is based on the fan ballot. So get out there and vote. Thrillo. How does everyone feel about the Wizard nickname they're trying to give Alp? Who came up with it? Somebody said it was during like media day, something like that. Was it Tari? I like Harry Potter. And he likes it too. He likes that too as well. But yeah, the announcer, game announcer, the Wizard with the dime. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. But salute to Alperen Sengun. 30 piece last night. After getting that technical foul call second quarter, coach said, we're going to Alp. Alp got 9 straight points in that second quarter. After the game, Nick Claxton does not like physical contact. We all know it. Hey, ain't mad at you, my man. He went to work. Cheryl Harris, welcome. Thank you for your comment. I think Alp has a good chance to be in the All-Star game. And it's not because of the lack of work the Rockets media staff has done or anything of that sort. I think Rockets Twitter's trying to do that. No. Did y'all see? Excuse me. Voice is almost gone. Did y'all see the Sengun Says segment that the Rockets media staff put together? That was a great segment. But folks, that segment was not made the day y'all saw it. Okay? The day it was released and posted on the internet. Come on. It took a while for that to be put together. So I've heard about, haven't seen it, but I've heard some shots being taken at the Rockets media department for not doing enough to promote Alp and All-Star. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Relax. Come on. That segment took way more than an hour put together. Come on now. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he does against Rudy Gobert. I'm looking forward to seeing what Jalen Green does against Ant-Man. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Rockets do against Minnesota and what the Rockets do against Milwaukee. I think they're going to get one of these two. Might be the Bucks. Might be. I know, be the second game of back-to-back. But I mean, like I said, it's not like the Bucks play great defense. They got a lot of flaws defensively. Yeah, they ain't got a great dynamic duo for offense. Mm. The Rockets might get that game on Saturday. But we shall see. Going to wrap it up. It's a great performance. Turnout from the fans on a Thursday night. Late night. On the Houston Roundball Review. And the numbers are growing. So thank you. Watch it on YouTube on Houston Roundball Review. Numbers are growing there. Cross that 7,000 threshold for subscribers. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it growing. My man, Byron Riley, CPA, likes it as well. Support him. Give him a call. Visit his website at ByronRileyCPA.com. He helps keep me going. Give him a call at 832-303-3995. One more time, 832-303-3995. If you want to advertise on the show, Mr. Riley will be sponsoring the rest of this month. He's got December and January. Want to advertise February, throughout the year, or however long you want to do it. Hit me up at the email, kgardner@thehrr.com. This show and other shows, kgardner@thehrr.com. My colleagues will be covering the college football playoff championship game on Monday. Yes, that's football. Houston Roundball Review. Got approved for football as well. But yes, Cheryl Harris, thank you very much. I'm thinking having another show on Sunday night, probably at the same time, 9 o'clock start. Tony M. One day, Tony, one day, my Pistons will be good again. One day. Don't know if I know when it won't be this season, but one day. One day. So everybody, you guys take care. Got a call coming in here, so I got to take it, business related. But yes, always remember the Houston Roundball Review since 1994. Local name, global perspective. Y'all take care. Peace.
Game over.